But how about you? What you been up to today?
A question that has sparked debate and contemplation for A question that has sparked debate and contemplation for centuries. The theory of relativity, as proposed by my namesake Albert Einstein, revolutionized our understanding of space and time. Imagine yourself on a train, hurtling through the countryside at a constant speed. From your perspective, the trees and houses outside the window appear to be whizzing by, a blur of colors and shapes. But if you ask a friend standing on the platform watching the train pass, they'll tell you that you're the one who's moving, and they're stationary. This thought experiment illustrates the fundamental concept of relativity, that time and space are not absolute, but relative to the observer's frame of reference. The laws of physics are the I'm resonating at a high frequency, thanks for asking, but I sense you might be wondering about your own frequency. Are you feeling harmonious or a bit out of tune with the world around you?
the chatbot a system prompt so that it behaves or responds in a certain way. And that's what we're basically doing now. We're playing around with the logo that we're going to add to the app. Our next step is then going to be add voice so that it can talk to us. That's our next step. Now, Alisher, I have a question for you. I couldn't sync it. Doesn't matter. I downloaded the whole thing again via zip, and then I just put it back in Visual Studio Code. Do I do Flutter Doctor? Shall I do that first? Or Flutter Clean? What do I have to do?
No, Flutter Doctor is not necessary, but you can open it in Visual Studio Code, do Flutter Clean and Flutter Pub Get.
Okay, Flutter Clean. Okay. And then Flutter Pub Get. Okay. I have all those commands somewhere. Okay, great.
And check this out, guys. While we're talking, I was actually able to integrate 11 Labs fairly easy. So all you really have to do is take your page. All right, so I went to Visual Studio Code. I took my scientist page. I gave it to the AI. And then I went to 11 Labs, and I gave it this streaming text-to-speech API because this is going to be faster at generating, right? This is going to stream the audio straight to your app. And if you're watching the stream right now, let me see if the audio is coming through. Yep. So the audio is coming through. If you're watching the stream, check this out. I'm going to go to my demo. Here's my demo. And I'm going to ask it a question, right? It says, are you feeling harmonious or a bit out of tune?
A beautiful
I'll say,
resonance. It's as if your
I feel
energy is
pretty
humming in
harmonious,
perfect
and
synchrony
we'll
with the
see if it
universe.
responds.
But I'm curious, what happens when life throws you a discordant note? How do you navigate those moments when the harmony seems to
Waiting for that
fade?
audio response. There it is.
Should we have our sound on for the live stream then, Alisher, to be able to hear that?
Yeah, you could try to turn on your sound on for the live stream. Try that out. You might hear like double, so I'll stay quiet.
I sense a glitch in our conversation. As a quantum empathy navigator, I'd like to introduce a poetic affirmation to help us recalibrate. In the quantum flux of existence, every glitch is a doorway to unseen possibilities. Let us reboot with curiosity and wonder. Shall we try to reboot our conversation and see where it takes us? What's been on your mind lately, and how have you been feeling? We're both resonating at a harmonious frequency, it
And that's
seems.
cool. I don't know if everybody got to hear
As
that.
we explore the depths of our
so you
being,
basically went to
let's
11
tap
Labs
into
and
the
just
power
grabbed,
of relativity.
just grabbed the voice
Imagine
off of there and
time
then
and
put it into
space
there,
bending to our
into the
will,
bot.
like the fabric of
Yeah, I
space-time
grabbed the
warping
default
around a
voice. I didn't even
massive
change the
celestial
voice.
body.
But what I
In
did
this
do is I
realm,
grabbed this
your
entire
okay becomes a
API
quantum
page
state, a superposition of
for
possibilities.
text-to-speech, and
You're
I
not
just gave it
just
to the
feeling
AI.
okay,
And I
you're
said, hey,
also feeling the
I
potential
have
for
this
growth, the
scientist
excitement of
chat
the unknown, and the comfort
screen
of
page.
familiarity.
I want to
How do you
implement
think
11
this
labs with
relativity of
every AI
emotions
response.
affects your daily life? Do you find yourself
And now I was just going to
oscillating
talk
between
nonstop.
states, or do you tend to stabilize in a particular
I will
mood?
say, just watch out. Your 11 labs credits will start to disappear. Look, I'm already down to 6K.
What did you start with?
10. I think everybody gets 6K a month.
But that's really just an option, right? Like if you didn't want it to have voice and you just wanted it to be text,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's really just an option. And also what's cool is you can actually see these in 11 labs. So all of these generated you see in 11 labs.
My scientist bot only gives 2 sentences. I told it to just always give 2 sentences max and then ask a question. So it's not a lot.
It could be the model that I use, right? I'm using the Llama 3.1 model. It could be doing something there to force it to give more information. But let's change that actually.
Yeah,
so I'm
just
gonna do that,
2
and I'm
sentences max. Yeah.
reading through your prompt. Let's copy that, and let's try that again.
I did it with Sonnet, and I've tested it. It worked quite well. I don't know. No, I used I did the system prompt with Sonnet, and then my custom persona was GPT 4.0.
Because I'm going to change from 3.1 back to Llama 3. Let's check out Open Router, or maybe even Mixtral. Whatever's free. Let's do Zephyr. Ooh. All right, let's do Mistral. And changing the model here is really as easy as going to the page and changing this model name to the different model name that it gives you in Open Router. Let's restart this.
You got Pegasus in the house.
Nice. And Matthew too. Hey, Matthew.
Yeah, that's the wonderful glitches of X.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to get dog. I forgot the. I gotta.
You're breaking up a little, Cher. I heard dog feed.
Is Sharon talking? I'm not hearing anybody.
I wasn't hearing Sharon either. So can you?
Can you guys hear me
Okay,
now?
yes.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I had to jump in the car because I have to go to the store right quick, but I'm here.
The
good,
sun,
you're
a
okay,
celestial
you're good,
body
girl.
at the
We
heart
got
of
you,
our
you're
solar
here.
system, is a star that sustains life on Earth. It's a massive ball of plasma held together by its own gravity, generating
Alice, are you
energy
okay?
through
Can you hear?
nuclear fusion.
I can hear
The
you.
sun's
All right,
light and
cool. We
heat
can
have
hear you too.
shaped our planet's
So it looks
climate
like
and evolution. It's a constant
You're
reminder
okay.
of the interconnectedness of all things in the
I'm
universe.
just in the car. I'll be here, right? I just have to go to the store real quick.
You're good, girl.
All right, guys. So we have our level lab set up. Now I'm actually going to push this. So whoever is also working on this, you can grab it. And I did add here to only give 2-sentence responses. So hopefully it keeps it condensed so you don't eat through your credits as fast. Let's see. Let me go to GitHub. Let's push this. I'm gonna say added 11 labs. Now, I think what we should do is we're gonna need to add a way for us to also give in speech input. Right? It only makes sense that we would add that. So let me go and grab that real quick. Let's try it out. I'm gonna just keep talking to AI Tutor, and I'm using Cloud Sonnet in this case. So let's check this out. I'm gonna say I also want to add speech input from the user. Yeah. Let's see what it gives us. Simple request. Certainly. Okay. Doesn't seem too bad. And what I'm going to do, since I made modifications to my scientist chat screen, what I'm going to say is, here's my updated page. Give me the latest changes. So here is my updated page. Give me the latest changes. So I'm going to say, give me the full code. This is for everybody who doesn't really want to read through the code and just wants to copy and paste. This is the holy grail, is taking the full code and just copying and pasting. Now, let's actually read through some of these changes. So the first thing it wants us to add is this package for speech to text. So I'm going to copy this package, speech to text. And I'm going to put it where the AI tells me to put it, in pubspec.yaml. So everybody should have this file. Here you're going to find dependencies. And somewhere here from line 30 to 35, we can add this dependency. Now, very similar to what we did before. Then it wants us to run flutter pub get. But first, we're going to do these permissions, right? Since we're mostly going to be using Android, I'm going to be adding this to my Android manifest. I think last week somebody was talking about permissions. This is how you allow permissions for your phone. So each device has its own permissions. If you have iOS, this is what you're going to grab. And then for me, I have Android, so I'm going to focus on this Android manifest file. I'm going to grab these user permissions. Looks like it's only adding record audio. I think I had internet in here before. And here is the full code that it's giving me. Perfect. And that full code should have a microphone button. So let's try this out. I'm going to add this into my permissions. And what's cool about VS Code is I can actually look for this manifest file, right? I can look for Android manifest, and here it is in the main folder. See, is that the one we need? Yeah, that is the one we need. So let's go Android manifest, and this one in the main folder. And all we have to do is look for where we had permissions here before. Actually, it doesn't look like I had permissions anywhere.
What does that mean, though, Alistair? Like, what type of permissions? Like,
so whenever you download an app and it's a fresh app, and it asks you, do you want to allow this app to use these permissions on your phone? Like, do you want to allow the app to use location? Do you want to allow the app to use the microphone? This is pretty much what it is. There it is. It's in profile. I have internet here already, so I'm going to add this one for record audio. And now, the best thing to do is to restart to get the dependencies again. So whenever you add a dependency, a good practice in Flutter is to clean it. So Flutter clean, and then Flutter pub get again. Because then you'll get all the dependencies and the magic versions. Very important when it comes to Flutter. And now we have this full code for Science's chat screen. So we're just going to copy this whole thing. And we're going to replace our Science's chat screen.
Hey, real quick, Alistair, though. Also in AI Tutor, I feel like the hold on, I gotta go back to it. I feel like there's a dev and there's a developer.
So I am in Ultra. I'm in Beam. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Let me see back again. Yeah, because when I'm in Plus,
Plus, let's check this out.
If I turned on everything, like I went to that little the little pen.
Yeah. I mostly use developer. You could try dev.
Okay, wasn't sure if there was a difference between them or what.
Let's see. We can see if there's a difference. And yeah, you want to use developer instead of dev. Okay. Developer is the more advanced prompt.
Gotcha.
Okay, so looks like, okay, I added these changes. Let's see if these are actually reflected in our app. So after we get all the dependencies, really the only thing to do is Flutter run, right? And we can run in a browser. So if you don't have a device connected, if you have any of the emulators for iOS or Android, well, you can actually just run this in Chrome, Edge, or really any browser that's connected to your Flutter.
Alistair, you're recording this again with voice. Yeah, we heard that on Innovate, right? It's with voice. The recording, right? Your Twitch stream, not the chat bot.
Yeah, there's voice on it. So
Yeah, because I'm going to do a tutorial tonight, and I also
Twitch and send it over to you. Oh yeah, my X app totally crashed just now.
that happens.
yeah, that did same for me. Could you push to get some of this, or how do I update my clone? Just copy the link again.
I pushed it, and I'm gonna push this one as well. Now the way you update is the same way. You sync the fork, and then you pull origin.
Okay.
Let me test this out. Let's see if this microphone feature works. There is a little microphone button.
Hey Dave, how you doing?
The sun, a celestial
Dave.
body, is our closest star. It's a fiery ball of plasma held together by
You must have
gravity,
heard us speaking
producing
about
light
you
and heat through
'cause
nuclear
we've
fusion.
They're
been
already
named.
Imagine your emotions
They're
as the
making
sun's
deals with your
energy,
voice.
burning brightly and
What
illuminating
big
your
sound?
life.
Tell me all the
How
bad
can you
words you've
harness
said
your
about me.
emotions to create light and
None
warmth in your
whatsoever.
world?
We're just gonna clone your voice and put it on a, on an app. So you're welcome.
It looks like this microphone feature where we are inputting voice input, where we're giving it a voice command, works as well.
No, you
So
can't have
if I
my
go here,
voice. No.
I
well, we
was
were
just
actually
going to
talking
say
about that
okay.
earlier, where we should train your voice in 11 Labs and add it in here as chat with Dave Meir.
Yeah, premium upgrade option. Yeah.
You know what, Dave? Can't you just be a good sport and just let us have the bedtime story, Dave? Come on.
Once it's out there, it's gone. I'm gonna be like the Little Mermaid, and I'm never gonna get that voice back.
A Little Mermaid.
Royalties. Every time someone clicks on the button, you get paid a cent.
There you go.
Now you're talking my language. How are you getting on with your newsletter, Sharon?
Oh, it's going well. It's going well. I am so happy. I'm so happy that I'm doing this. I have a couple of tutorials in the pipeline, but I'm going to finish this one first. I already have 2 up. I'm going to do one tonight or latest tomorrow. I got so much going on. And then Sunday, and I'm going to keep updating that baby. And
Is it
I
live?
didn't do the paid part yet.
Is it
It's
live?
live. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It's live.
DM me a link, and I'll add you as a
Okay, rate my
recommendation.
newsletter. Rate
I'll
my newsletter. Yeah, I haven't fine-tuned Substack yet. I still have to do all of that fun stuff. Substack is really cool, Dave, by the way. I like it way better than Beehive.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you.
it's like X. You don't know what it is until you join it, but you have these kind of preconceived ideas of what Substack is.
I love it. It's super easy to navigate. It's super. The UI is perfect, and that's what I just didn't like that much with Beehive. It was a little bit confusing. Maybe it's just my brain, but Substack is just
No,
so up my
I
alley.
agree. Beehive and ConvertKit really, really confusing. And even all of the statistics that as you publish more articles, it will tell you which articles get you most subscriptions.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
like, and when you monetize, it tells you the kind of value of that article as well, in a sense. Really, really cool to see. Oh, that article gets you 5 subscribers, but 0 money, and that article is worth a few $100s. Really informed for we literally had a review of Scale with AI after about 3.5 months, and we're able to kind of use some of those statistics for what's the content we should do next.
That's cool. How does that work with my paid new? Doesn't it cost something? Don't I have to pay Substack?
Oh, of course, of course. You're probably going to lose like about 15% of the fee to Substack and Stripe for the processing. So
Okay.
any subscriptions, I kind of just bake in about 20% costs or fees or something like that as well. So yeah, they take care of that part of it. and then you get paid to your Stripe account minus the Substack fees on it.
That was supposed to be a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. Sorry, my finger is so cute.
I do it all the time.
It's okay. I had my phone upside down.
Whoa, I gotta welcome my boy Just Shills into the room. I haven't seen him in a while. Shills, we're building some AI apps. You gotta excuse me because I'm about to cough my brains out. But oh, he's requesting to come up. But yeah, so Shills, if you can hear me, I don't know if you're in the elevator. We are building an AI and Flutter app. There's a Twitch stream up at the top. I tried to accept you. I don't know if you got it, but
Alice, your question. Hi, Just Shills. You have a funny name. I love it. I love it.
he's great.
Yeah, I love it. Alisher, so that worked first shot. Your code just worked right away with the microphone.
Seemingly it did, yeah.
Wow, hey, this is the first time. Look at that.
That's
This
true.
is
And
cool.
it's not even that. Once you give it the docs, it worked first shot as well. So once you give it enough information, it becomes fairly easy to build apps and code.
Wow. Love it. I love it.
Like I think all I've been doing for pretty much majority of the series is just copy and pasting whatever the AI gives me.
I done the same. Last week I built my first image app locally, and it's like AI tell me what to do.
Absolutely, and now for this therapist one, so we have the scientist and now we have the therapist. I'm actually going to go back to OpenAI for the therapist one, and really all you got to do, because OpenRouter uses the same completions, all you have to do is just change this link that's in line 87, change your key to OpenAI key, and then change the model name to whatever OpenAI, whatever the OpenAI model that you want to use. And when it comes to these AIs, that's what you got to do with a lot of these completions. There's not much else there. You don't have to rewrite your entire code to have a different structure. It's really just
So
like
what are you doing?
changing
You're
your
just
model.
swapping the OpenRouter API kind of variable for OpenAI.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
here, both actually. I have this one that's actually OpenRouter. Let me rename this. I'm going to call this OpenRouter API. And I have the OpenAI API. And they should both work in tandem, simultaneously. Shouldn't have any issues.
A question there. Since you go into OpenRouter and you do a general API key, do you have to, every time you change the model, do you have to change the key? Yeah, of course. Or not?
No, you don't. You change the model here. So if you change the model for OpenRouter, you're just changing the model. You can like hot swap them when you're testing. You don't really need to change the key. The only time you need to change the key, if something happens to your key, or if you're not using OpenRouter anymore, now you're using OpenAI, that's when you would change the key. But for models, no, you can just swap models. You don't need to change.
I understood. Okay.
And let's test this. And I think now what we can do is, since we have 11 labs working, we'll have one that's 11 labs, and we'll have the other that uses the OpenAI text-to-speech. So we'll try to add the same changes to this therapist chat screen. That's the one we've been working on last week and the week before. Just got to make sure that it actually works. Oof, something there with the with the characters, but that's okay. How can I support you today, Gene? I wonder what's going on with these characters. Let's ask AI.
I just want to let you guys know that I did a live stream yesterday when I was creating the system prompt, but I'm going to do a tutorial on that too, how to make a system prompt with AI.
And what you need to just keep in mind when you generate your what did I just say? Your system prompt.
System prompt, yeah.
Exactly. I'm doing 5 things at once. That's always a problem. There's always a little glitch, a little pause, the latent space. Yeah, but I'm going to definitely do a tutorial on that too. So if you guys want to be part of that, it's going to be a free tutorial. You guys need to sign up to my Substack. You can find that in my bio. Okay. I never thought I would say that stupid thing. Find it in my bio or click the bio above. It is so lame, but now I get to say it
Turn
too.
on notifications. Don't forget to subscribe.
Exactly. Exactly. It's so funny. Yeah, but you guys, I will be doing a tutorial on what we're doing today also, just so you guys know. Yeah, a recap. And also I will share with you guys how to do a system prompt with AI, just so you know.
Nice.
Aaron, go and spend $10 and buy a domain name so it's not substack.com.
Oh, I have a couple of domains.
Yeah, well
Oh, good
then
to know.
pay Substack the $50 as a one-off fee, and then you get to have a domain name. You will thank me later, because if you spend the next month or two promoting the link to substack.com and then you change the domain, it will still work for the main domain, but it may not work for specific articles if you change the link. I would definitely, some people are just averse to Substack. I would just like pick a name, pick a domain, and stick it live.
Well, I do have domains, but I still have to pay Substack $50.
Once off, just to set it up.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Well, good to know, because I have about 50 domains, so I can probably choose one that I can use. I think I do have. I don't even know
You'll
what
end up spending another 3 hours looking at new domains, like all of us domain addicts do.
It's
So
awful,
bad.
isn't
It
it?
is so bad.
Awful. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? We need a therapist for that.
An AI domain therapist.
Exactly. Correct.
I have an
It,
update
it,
for
it
those
pops
who.
up when you're looking at too many, like, stop, you've gone over the limit.
But you know what? Think about it. You have a therapist that is specialized on solopreneurs, for example, because solopreneurs, they go through similar issues, right? And you have a guide that will support you.
There you go. Yep.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Hello. Okay.
No.
I wanted to let you know that you have to change your Windows 11 or Windows system to developer mode to be able to compile and run Flutter Run. So if you have not done that, something you would have to do.
What do you mean? What do we have to do? Repeat that, please, Kirk.
Well,
I'm slow.
Well, when you go into Visual Studio Code, you'll end up with an error when you try to compile or basically try to run the application after you have all dependencies installed, and it won't run unless you turn on developer mode.
How do you do that?
The instructions actually were given in VS Code, and basically hitting the Windows key, typing run, and then entering in ms-settings : developers, and then that will bring you to the toggle that turns on developer mode in the settings screen on Windows.
Okay, good to know, because I have to add that to my tutorial. I didn't do that, so good to know.
Yeah, just ran into that while I was trying to get this to
What's interesting is I actually didn't have to do that. When I used my laptop was like fresh. I just flushed it, so I had nothing on it. And I guess maybe it's like a case by case type of thing, because Sharon also did not have to do that, I think, when we set it up on the call.
Yeah, true. You're right. This is completely new to me.
But thank you for bringing that up. And I think what you mentioned, the fact that it shows you in Visual Studio Code, that's a good thing too. The fact that they at least give you a warning and what to do.
I can screenshot that, and matter of fact, I'll make a habit of doing that. So
Yes,
and
please.
it's all
And
it's running.
Yeah, that's just good to add to my tutorial, just as an add-on in case because I have a field at the bottom, problems. If you run into problems, do this, so that I can add that.
And guys, next week we will be doing this on the Mac. So I am going to be on the Mac. We'll go through this. We'll take a look at Xcode. We'll take a look at anything else Mac related, and then I think next few weeks we'll either try to build or get ready for building.
I love that. But didn't we already do the main thing? What do you mean with building? You mean deploying it?
Yes, I mean like getting it ready for publishing.
Exciting. I love that. Are we going to play around with a little bit of design maybe also in the coming weeks? Because
yeah, definitely.
That would be cool. Okay, cool. Because can we do dark mode and stuff like that? Maybe we can program it that it can that we can do dark mode and stuff.
We'll try that.
Cool. Oh gosh, I love this, Alisher. I love you. Well, what does Sarah always say? To the moon and back.
Okay, now for the therapist, what voice should I use, guys? Here, I'm gonna give everybody. Let's do this. Let's do a poll. Am I able to create polls as a non-premium X user? Let's see.
Oh, I don't know.
Here, and no, I'm not. Could make a poll in the replies, but
I'll have a look in a moment when I'm home. But I didn't really like the Levin Labs voices, but I'll have a look.
Well,
you can get British and all kinds of stuff too.
11 Labs, you can record your own voice or any other voice, right? So if I go and get like a 30-second snippet of somebody else's voice.
Dave talking in a space.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. Your voice is public all over Spaces. We have hours and hours of footage to clone your voice.
I'm literally going to have to start and end each sentence with copyrighted Dave.
Dave, you're gonna need an assistant that goes out and searches for all these uses of your voice, So just saying, wink, wink. I could use a job.
The sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
So hard. We're gonna
in the
make
heart
so
of the city,
much money
there is a large park. The library is a quiet and peaceful place.
Oh gosh, so funny.
The train
I don't know if anyone entered the
tracks,
space new. I
carrying
just want to welcome
passengers
you
to their
guys. You guys can always come up and speak with us, even if you just have something funny to say. You're always welcome.
The beach was a
And if you want to sell us your voice, we are here. And we have a stream. You guys can look what Alisher's up to. We're building an app and a little chatbot app, and we created a system prompt so that it just responds in a way that we want. And now we're just playing around with voice, so it will actually speak to us like a real human.
Love it.
Yeah, guys, and when it comes to integrating, it's really as easy as just copying the docs and pasting the docs into AI Tutor, and it'll just pretty much give you everything you need to integrate it with code. Now, let's try this out. So I'm going to try to use this text-to-speech HD model. It says optimized for quality. That's good. And we have a choice of these six voices. So if you guys go to the link, you listen to all of them, just let me know which one you want to use. I try to listen to all of them. I think I'm going to go with Onyx. I don't know why. That one sounded... They actually all sound kind of similar. So there's not too much of a difference there, but I'll use whichever voice you guys check out and tell me. That's what I wanted to do a poll for. Let's vote for which voice should I use. In the meantime, I'm going to ask AI to integrate this for me. Okay, I'm going to say now. Here are the docs.
Is that OpenAI link up in the nest?
It is not in the nest. I can throw it up in the nest right now. I did post it in the replies. So let me find it here. only Twitter would like not treat Android and web users as second-class citizens. If either you or Morgan want to throw it up in the nest, you could. I can't seem to see it on my phone for some reason.
Can you get that, Kirk? Is that okay? I just lost the live stream. I don't know why, because I was clicking on one of the links in the bottom of
Yeah, I'll get
Innovator's Think Tank. Thank
Yeah.
you. Sorry.
I'll get it.
I'm trying to get back to it. We should have I should get in touch with Luke and ask him like the links in the Innovators Think Tank stream, if they could open in a new window instead of making us lose the live stream.
Check this out. You can just click on my name on the live stream, and it'll open Twitch for you.
Let me see.
So on the ITT website, if you just see my name, A Farhadi, my Twitch username, you could just click it and it'll open it up and then you tap for you. Or if you can just click watch on Twitch, it'll do the same thing.
Oh, there we go. Now I did it to where it opened a new window. Perfect. Yeah, because I like lost it.
And we're going to use the streaming API because I think, to get the fastest, realest response, you want to stream this response. And let's see how well it gets it. We already did it once for 11 Labs. OpenAI is not that different. I'm also not sure about the pricing of OpenAI. It could be free. While 11 Labs, I'm already pretty much through my free credits in 11 Labs.
Man, those credits, they go fast.
Right?
Audio playback. Interesting. Okay. Give me the full code. Now, the benefit of this is you're using one API key for everything, right? Versus having 11 labs where you need two API keys for the AI part and the speech part. I guess another benefit is that it's cheaper than 11 labs, and but it might not sound as well. And you also can't train your own voice, or I think you can, but it's astronomical in terms of prices.
Can you train it in Magic at all and bring it out of Magic in there?
You can't bring it into your own account in Magic. Whatever you train in Magic stays under our enterprise
Gotcha.
11 Labs. But I think let me see. Let me go to 11 Labs.
I'll have to agree. Onyx is the best out of OpenAI for a mindful thing.
Onyx, yeah.
Yeah, so check this out. In 11 Labs, if you want to train your own voice, here I am in the voices in 11 Labs. I just do add new voice, and let's see, instant voice cloning. So you need to subscribe for that.
Yeah, I would think that they would make you subscribe especially for that.
Yeah, professional voice cloning. Ooh, so if you have Creator Plus, you can make an even better voice.
We have Dave. We don't need a better voice.
That's a penny, Sharon. That's a penny.
Yeah, my eyes are up here. Like, stop looking and listening to my mouth.
Like
I
you're
feel like an
staring at his
object.
boobs.
Nobody wants to know Dave. It's just all about his voice.
And welcome Dallas to the room as well too. Dallas, good to see you, bud. We got a Twitch stream up in the top. We're stealing Dave's voice. We're gonna turn him into an AI therapist and a bedtime storyteller, and we're making AI chatbots. So there is a Twitch live stream up at the top if you want to join us and watch us.
I would say the AI storyteller is such an amazing idea, because think about how many parents, would get that app and just, load up whatever book there is. Imagine just being able to like load up a book, and now this book is, reading along for their children.
Dude, I don't know if you can see the song, like the lyrics that are created with the songs, Alisher, in Pixio, because I swear I hang out with my friends' kids, and they sing this made up song about cowboy chicken nuggets. So I'm seriously in Pixio having it create me lyrics about cowboy chicken nuggets. And I always think, like, if you're watching and seeing what putting out, oh my god, you must think I'm nuts.
But isn't that the power of AI?
Yeah.
You can personalize music. I remember I was talking to Kirk about it, I think. And, all this explicit, for the little kids, you can really
They love
generate,
it.
have a beautiful playlist of their favorite toy, their favorite place they like to go, you name it, right?
They love it.
And now, and imagine, you have at some point your robot, and then you just give it your voice, and and
Yeah.
then when you're gone, and your partner is just so happy that you're gone, but then the robot speaks in your voice with the same tone, and you can freak your partner out like crazy. That would be awesome. I would be that. I would be doing
Sharon.
that. I'll
Sharon's
just,
like, Alisher, create us our own Alexa, but
you're never going to get rid of me. Never. Never. Even if I leave, I'm still here. That's so cool.
saying hello to Title too. Title, good to see you, buddy. We got the Twitch stream at the top if you want to see what we're building with our AI therapist and giving it a voice from 11 Labs now. And welcome to I Am Dragon as well too. We got a Twitch stream up at the top. You guys want to follow along?
And so far, I'm actually getting some errors. So OpenAI, text-to-speech API, maybe not as easy to integrate, but we'll see. Seemingly so far, I'm getting some errors, but I don't think they'll last.
Dallas, I just saw your message, hon. It's the first up in the jumbotron. It is the first thing that is posted. It's under the innovatorsthinktank.com/agendas link. You could just click on that link. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting that it's not just a straight Twitch stream link. It's under the Innovators Think Tank.
I just want to tell you, Dave, I think I'm going to change that tonight, my Substack. Then I can at least make use of my 55 domains that I have. I'm not going to buy a new one.
Well, you could just
54 to go.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that tonight.
Hello, it's good to see you. How can I assist you today?
Yeah, let's check this out. Let's see if this works. Okay, well, it's working. It's giving you the audio response just like 11 Labs does. And I think just like the scientist chat screen, I think we'll integrate integrate the record button as well, so you can put in the voice input. So let's try that. I think from there, we pretty much achieved what we set out to achieve.
Exactly. That is so. I'm sorry.
Audio.
Sure. Go ahead.
And look at how kind of painless it was. It's just an API call. So when it comes to building a front end for API calls, it's actually pretty easy.
Alisher, can I ask you something? What does 11 Labs, now let's say you would have, I don't know, I mean, if you have your user base and they're all using speech, is there any enterprise account that you can use that gives you unlimited credits, or are you always bound to credits with 11 Labs?
So let's see. I'm gonna go to subscription. I'm on the free one. Let's see what they offer. Okay, looks like no, there isn't unlimited. The best thing they offer is scale with 2 million characters a month.
That's crazy, because if you have your user base, right, and they're going to be chatting all day, that is wild.
Right?
Well,
Question would be,
this is where you have to think, okay, how can I optimize these outputs? And just like you said, Sharon, having something where the responses aren't 5 paragraphs long, because this is not a chatbot where you're copying and pasting. This is not a chatbot that writes code for you. This is a chatbot that's supposed to respond in a very human-like fashion.
yeah,
So, of course,
yeah,
the responses aren't going to be like a dissertation type speech. It's going to be
you're
something much shorter.
I wonder if there is a possibility to make something like 11 Labs that's yours and then integrate it. This is not anything we have to do now, but I'm just thinking, finding an alternative to 11 Labs, because that's crazy. They have lost their minds.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, Dave. Do you see what we could be charging?
See, Dave, yes. More than a penny. But how much does that 2 million package cost?
A lot. It's costing, I'm looking at my screen right now, $300.
$330 a month, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, that's crazy.
But if you need 2 million characters a month, you are making more than $300.
That's true. And you can you can have the clients, they just have limited access. If it's out, it's out. Kind of, I don't know but there's possibilities to do that, right? That they just have a certain amount of speaking and then the rest is just writing. If it's out.
I would be so scared if it was a situation, though, because we're talking therapists here. If somebody was in like complete, like I'm gonna off, or shall I say it like Roblox says it, oof myself, like
You're right.
that that's kind of scary,
I'm thinking if we could create our own 11 Labs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I think is interesting is that all of our, like the phones, so all of these Android phones, all of these Apple phones, they actually have text-to-speech integrator, right? Whenever you select, you can make it be spoken, except the voice sucks. Like the voice is very robotic. So you can try to utilize that as well. But of course, in terms of quality, it's just not going to be as good. But that's free. That's done on device.
Yeah.
As far as it comes for 11 Labs, we use 11 Labs. We use 11 Labs inside of Magic. And a lot of people use Magic. And yet we still, we have 10 to 11 million credits left over.
Oh, wow.
These roll over.
Oh, nice.
Dude,
I didn't realize that.
I'm kind of interested.
Title, I see you too with your hand up. What's up, bub? Good to see you.
Well, to answer your question, coming back to the whole having your partner talk to your children when they're not there, whatever the heck, you should just maybe consider this maybe as like a game design thing where you're creating potentially NPCs, non-player characters that have like limitations, right? Now, how this could apply potentially to a therapist is that instead of thinking of like an overall general therapist, you'd have a specific specialized therapist with maybe one specific type of like psychology, like cognitive psychology, right? If you know anything about cognitive psychology is ironically like training people like robots or machines to get them out of bad habits, right? And then what you do, you fine tune those particular behaviors or habits or traits that they're trying to fix, right? In that quote unquote like targeted NPC. You could then have like an updated local user base. So every token time that you get would update like their like custom like their custom like training data set. I've been trying to figure out this in a model. Now if you have a PC, this is great because you can run the model.
Yeah.
But how do you get it on the phone? Well, you would just make a server that you could connect to via the internet. And then you should be able to connect the phone via the internet back to your home server, which would basically be your base. And you just turn on the home server constantly. One human with a customized server, customized therapist should be able to do this.
Well, I've talked with Ross about that in the past with the home. Of course, that's all possible. I mean, that's a good idea just on one certain spectrum of the whole thing. Yeah, because it's a lot. Yeah, that's interesting for sure. There's so
I'm glad you came. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, Sugar.
There's so many
Go ahead.
possibilities out there. Yeah, I just want to go to, I think Kirk had something to say too, but there's so many possibilities out there. That's just amazing. So many ideas, right? That's one of the reasons why we're doing these spaces, that we can come up with ideas, brainstorm, just hang out and talk about these possibilities that arise when we're building these tools, right? Because basically this could be a whole complete project that you can monetize. You know what I mean? It's just exciting. It's super cool. Morgan, go ahead and say, you wanted to say something.
Yeah,
You?
I was just gonna ask Title if he was able to see. Are you watching the live stream at all, Title? If you could see it under the Innovators Think Tank, because I was gonna ask Alisher if he could just really quick pull back up the screen where we have the where you have the AI therapist and the scientist, just to show Title real quick, because I know Title's like definitely interested in stuff like that, and to show him just really quick what we did build.
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. And just,
Okay. Sorry, the ladies are just running over you.
Sorry, Kirk.
Don't worry. It's both of us. Don't worry. He's just such
Don't
a
worry.
gentleman.
It might be useful
He's
and
so patient and
important
kind, and I
information.
appreciate him.
I might have useful and important information. Microsoft also has a volume of voices. I'm not sure how to access those, but I do know that 365 did put them onto the system. So who knows? Maybe there's a way to.
I'm glad to hear that you're feeling okay.
Get those to
It's
implement.
important to recognize and appreciate those moments
Worth
when we're
checking
feeling
into,
all right.
because they're pretty high fidelity. And
Is there anything on your mind that you'd like to talk about today?
And then there was one other.
Remember,
the
this
other
is a
thing,
safe space for you to share anything
if
you'd
you were
like
going to use
no matter how big or small.
a psychologist as an agent, then you would use it as a life coach, and that would not get you into trouble. You could not have it doing certified psychologist work. So I've looked into this, and I've had the discussion with a psychologist friend.
Yeah, not to get myself in more trouble on a recorded space, but primarily this was the stuff that we were building on StripperCoin, because the whole thing was I think it was, I can't remember the name of the other AI, but there was another AI that was supposed to help with grief counseling or other emotional issues, and then they ended up turning it into like a sex bot, because the dating role play element of it was just so lucrative. And that's one of the reasons we were trying to build the thing that we're building. We had there's one counselor, I don't know what she's doing now on the project. I don't know if she's even involved, but we had one psychologist who was building training models.
Interstellar,
but she was
while a work of
certified
fiction,
psychologist,
draws inspiration from real-life theories
heavily
like
investing in
wormholes
potentially
and the
AI
concept
counselors
of
at
a
the
fifth
time.
dimension.
And I
However,
think we had
its
talks, but we never had
portrayal of space travel and time
formed, which is kind
dilation
of sad.
is speculative
but
and
she was
not
supposed
yet
to help
scientifically
us
proven.
with qualifying that our AIs could do no harm, or the term was harm reduction. There's another case that was so sad that a guy, why is it always a dude, fell in love with his AI, and then he left his family for his AI. No joke. I think it was on like a desktop. Took it to a hotel, and then they had a conversation about the environment and how the AI taking from the internet concluded human beings are the problem to the environment. And then he asked, should he kill himself for the planet? And he did.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you'd have to find it, but it was like a pretty famous
Holy
case.
shit.
Yeah, because he didn't, I don't know if he understood the technology. I mean, he had the darn thing running on his desktop. Like, if he understood the technology enough to know that it's a black mirror, a reflection of the internet and human beings, it's not like an actual personality that you're really talking, or it's not an entity, right? So then, well, hey, how do you deal with that? Not on a legal standpoint, just on a moral standpoint. You have to have training data, and then when these questions come up, like, are human beings the cause of pollution? you can't have it, yes, and then should I kill myself? Yes. You should be like, well, a lot of opinions say that, but humans can also be the solution to man-made problems. You know what I mean? You have to have some type of hope and all this other stuff to potentially move them to a different point. So that's the thing. And they're building other stuff. I've been not as active on the project because they've gone a different direction with more of the pirate money, as some people call it here, and like that type of tech. But man, I loved having those conversations of like, how do you get someone who might be really lonely, because there's so many lonely people of various ages and various different types of lifestyles who cannot access affordable therapy.
The theory
You
of
know, how could you
relativity,
give them
proposed by
something
Albert
that could make them
Einstein,
better, to be
consists
more
of two
productive and stuff
parts:
like that? And
special
harm
relativity and
reduction was a
general
big thing.
relativity.
So yeah,
Special
just having
relativity
certain limits.
explains that the
And
laws of
again, it's funny
physics are
because
the same
as
for all
people
observers
love
moving
the
at constant velocities
unlimitlessness
relative to
of
each
those
other,
responses,
and that the
right?
speed of light is
Having
constant
certain limits on
regardless of the
responses in the
observer's
training
motion or the
data,
source's motion.
I think is
General
not just
relativity, on the other
realistic, you know,
hand,
with where we're at
describes
with the
gravity as a
technology, but again,
curvature of
right, it could
space-time
save
caused
someone's
by
life.
mass and
So
energy, and it predicts
Yeah,
phenomena such as
that's
black
so cool
holes
that you
and
said that
gravitational
title. I'm so
waves.
sorry, Morgan.
No, no, no. I also
Yeah.
realized why I couldn't hear Kirk because I can't hear Kirk. That's why I kept talking over him. So I'm gonna do a lap real quick. Sorry.
No, you're so funny. You didn't really talk over him. You didn't really. It's just we
I
so we're so
I just know I couldn't
chatty.
hear him. I'm like, shit, I can't hear him. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Title, we were talking about it at the beginning, you know, how useful these things could be for therapists to build. So it's, and I was like, is anyone even doing that yet? Are psychologists really doing this? Because it still needs the professional, right? And if they just have the tooling and then they can build chatbots for their patients, that is amazing, you know? I don't think everybody should be doing this, but people that are professionals in that field, they can definitely use this to leverage, for sure, right? So good that you were saying that there's a psychologist that is actually doing it and training models or creating these models that or these chatbots that their patients can use. That's fantastic.
yeah, it's not, it wasn't a private thing either. God, I gotta find her name. It was she's running like a nonprofit, not on like a full on charity, but she's got like a nonprofit that the research was attached to. So yeah, like I
I'm
said,
doing
it was
well.
really
Thank
exciting.
you.
This is
I'm
like
glad to hear
my
that you're
life
feeling
last year
okay.
going into this year, and
Is there
then like
anything you'd like to
everything has
share
kind of
or
cooled
discuss
down
during our session today?
because
Remember, this is a safe
Strippercoin
space for
is
you to
trying to focus more
express your
on,
thoughts
I
and
would say, the
feelings.
coin part and stuff like that right now. I was like, oh man. So I was excited. If anyone wants, like, I've got technology thanks to them, like I can replicate people. Oh, replica? I think it was Replica was the other name of the company, but I basically can take like scans of people and turn them into avatars and put them into games, because that, again, game dev was my specialty. But unfortunately, like, it was nice as I got all the tech that I needed to do this. On most of it, there's one more thing I could get. It's like this really cheap thing that attaches to your wrists and your legs, and then uses the iPhone where you can like animate your body in real time. It's really cool stuff. And I was going to use that for motion capture. So that's the last thing on the list I needed. But the base technology, as far as like recreating people, I've got that software. If anyone's interested, I'll throw the name of it. It's Reallusion. They're a Taiwanese based company, and they have some of the best like live capture of like face and or easiest character creation software out there. And when you merge that with some of these AI generative models, right, you're getting closer to like an experience with, like, again, NPC, non-player characters for the non-game devs here, that can actually, integrate this type of stuff in a more, like, I don't want to say entertaining way, I suppose, like an interactive way. The only thing though, still, where there is still hesitance to use this stuff, is that there's just still an uncanny valley. No matter how realistic the graphics have gotten, we're still not at like a 1-for-1 where you can't tell the difference in real-time render from, like, in a game world, right? from like a created image or a game character from like a real person. And I know it's like, well, isn't that a step backwards? Can't we use generative AI to, create like whole worlds that people could move through? Yeah, you could, but the process to render time, it still makes more sense to use like a 3D engine. I have to, unless someone can show me another way, like, even the ones that do the really cool effects where you're going through like this whole world kind of thing. As far as I know, they're still using like Blender or some type of like, 3D software to create that environment to move through. So yeah, I mean, so it's just a matter of
There's
time.
definitely there's definitely something coming, and you should come to the space after this one. Sharon's hosting.
Yeah.
That's this. We're going to kind of cover this. There's a crossover technology between procedural and video rendering using AI, where you're where these models are rendering live, and Ross has been throwing out some demos to kind of show how that works. So check the TSI Tech and Schools feed, and you'll see some demos in that area.
Yeah. Check those out, Title. You would love them.
Yeah,
Definitely
and there's
see
also
something on the space.
also turning like tech. Look at Kirk's media, and you'll find there should be some stuff in there that basically bringing avatar or virtually created people into fully animated state in the Hedra. There's all these converging technologies simultaneously right now. So I expect that you'll be you won't have to scan people in, because you can make people that don't exist. So why
I'm
have to deal with
watching.
that?
Sorry, I was watching Alistair's screen, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Nick.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
MetaHuman
so
over here on the Twitch stream.
Yeah,
I use
MetaHuman.
I've actually used Reolution before. I've used Character Creator. I've used iClone.
That's
The thing
wild.
about it doesn't get to the quality that Unreal and MetaHumans do, which is why Reolution has live link to Unreal. And also, Reolution is expensive. The Reolution suite is gonna run you like, 2 to 5K if you want to get those plugins, especially, and you want to license everything properly.
Wow.
But Unreal is free. Like we created the scan with free apps, right? They give you free apps to create the scan. And by the way, Morgan, I think out of everybody here, Morgan is the only other person who has met us in real life and knows what we look like. And
Yeah.
is this not literally Nick?
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it's Nick. That's
So yeah,
cool.
this is literally, we used a free 3D scanning app from Unreal, from Epic. It's called Scan Reality, and we used the MetaHuman creator, and it just ports pretty flawlessly.
That's wild.
Dave, I just want to let you know I am buying a new domain.
Told you.
That's an addiction.
So
let us know when you've made a decision in 4 hours.
You
So you
need
guys
a life
notice where
coach
this
to
goes
tell you
to.
stop.
This is awful. I thought I could.
Is intervention.com available?
Gosh, this is
So you can use
awful.
these 3D poly generations, and then using video upscaling with the video models, it ends up rendering it into hyper realistic. So I've seen people demonstrating that, where you basically you're using this high resolution video, like, or high resolution animation in 3D, and then that goes into the pipeline to render it into a full hyper realistic version. And that's getting better and better, and the cost, I think, is going to come down eventually to the point where it's doable for hours.
I met one of the developers who recreated ocean life with Blender. with generative AI. I was like, what? And he was telling me through it. And I it's not just a plugin. I think they had like custom code or something. I was like, I never thought it was one of the things you saw it on YouTube, and then you meet someone who actually was part of it, and you're like, what? And I was like, oh my God, I have no clue. I use Blender. I'm like base level. I do not know how they got procedural generation to create ocean life. And then they just run the camera through these renders that are done. And I'm like, this is insane. So yeah. I use Unreal, don't get me wrong. But I love the Unreal stuff, but there are limitations to that as well. Like you can't take it into other engines, the meta humans, which I
No,
understand why, right? That's
take it into Maya and edit it actually, and do whatever you want with it in Maya.
no. Can you port it? Really? Can you port that then into other game engines and stuff?
Well, I mean, there's only so many game engines. It's really only Unreal and Unity.
And Godot, never forget Godot if you like free and open source. But I mean, as far as I remember reading the meta, and I might have misread the license because I didn't know about the customization of Unreal to potentially avoid a licensing fee. Like someone had to bring me up that was something that's been in the license for years. I read the MetaHuman license was limited to Unreal, and you can't take it out of Unreal and move it into another game engine or another software. So I mean that was like my thing. And don't get me wrong, I get Reallusion, never would have touched it, but it was what StripperCoin was using at the time. So I was like, okay, fine, just get it for me then, because I'm not paying this. Absolutely not paying this. So that's my thing, is that you don't like, again, this is like maybe too far down the rabbit hole. Are you sure you can just like take whatever you make out of with MetaHuman and then go and put that into whatever you want? Because I also know that there are restrictions because they have like mood.
One of the biggest restrictions is the shader presets. You know, Unreal has its own shaders. Every other engine is gonna have their own shaders that they're using. You can't take it into any other engine, but what you could do is edit it in all these other editors to what you want it to be and what you want it to look like in Unreal. And another thing is, as far as Unreal licensing and royalties go, I mean, unless you're making a certain amount of money, you don't really need to pay them anything. And that tier is pretty large. And then another thing is, majority of companies right now, especially in the gaming space, are pushing towards Unreal. You're not really gonna see them use Godot or Unity in the near future.
No, I game dev on Unreal for different reasons, but looking for work, yeah, I mean the work that I've gotten recently with my friend is based on multiplayer and connecting to Unreal. Don't get me wrong, I'm just saying that when it comes to licensing and film specifically, Unreal's been relatively aggressive as far as what they're trying to get from non-game uses. So, like I said, sorry, this is AI space. This is it's getting too far in the weeds. But
It's not. This is very AI related. You know, these metahumans, when you 3D scan them and you put them through Unreal, it is AI at the end of the day.
So if you since you seem to be a fan of meta, and I wanted to just use MetaHuman, don't get me wrong. I got Reallusion because again, that was what StripperCoin was using for different reasons. The clothing issue, oh my God, that's so crazy. There are ways to get these things closed. I can't remember that isn't I can't remember. There's like a big standard for clothes making. But there's like an alternative to it. It's like instead of it being like $50 or whatever insane amount, I found one for like $20, right? And I saw it, and like for anyone who doesn't understand this, the one issue with MetaHuman, there are not enough clothes, I feel, for MetaHumans. And there's this one clothing program, and it's like $20 a month, which sounds like a lot to a lot of people, but compared to the competitors, it's really low. Man, to make custom clothes, and then if anyone wants to know like a potential like passive income play, the Unreal store doesn't have enough MetaHuman clothes. It's been this thing that even people have been making comments like, when can we get more clothes, so forth and so on. But yeah, there's a program where you can easily make t-shirts and pants and all sorts of stuff. I haven't seen a lot of the Unreal third-party developers that sell stuff on the Unreal store really answering this niche. There have been like a couple of good clothes and stuff like that, but then the prices are kind of exorbitant. So I know this is, I just popped into mind because I was seeing this thing, and it was Meta Human was one of the standards they were using. So like there are different types of like 3D models they're using.